The Kingston Fall Fair Country Singing Showdown is Ontario's largest singing contest. Pre-registration is now open and the qualifying auditions start Thursday, August 8th at the Buckle on Princess Street. With me are Heather Ambrose, First Vice President of the Kingston Fall Fair, and Jay Smith, owner of the Buckle. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
The Fall Fair has had the singing competition for a very long time, but changes are happening this year. Is that right?
Yes,
Okay.
we're very excited about them.
So tell me all about it.
Sure. The first big change is that we are now hosting the qualifiers at the Buckle, which is a local Kingston family restaurant.
And this is your restaurant,
It is indeed.
and it just opened last year. Is that
yeah,
right?
so we just celebrated our 1 year anniversary on June 1st. We had a big party, and yeah,
That's great.
we're still going.
So the qualifying is happening at the Buckle.
Yes.
And then?
Yeah, we have the qualifiers at the Buckle, and there's 4 different nights for qualifiers, days. We also have the finals being presented at the Kingston Fall Fair. There's a big thing on the Friday night and the Saturday afternoon of the Kingston Fall Fair, which is September 12th to 15th.
So what age ranges would this appeal to?
We have 3 different age categories this year, which is really exciting because usually it was just 2. So it's like you have an 18-year-old sometimes competing against, an 8-year-old, which makes it harder.
Right.
So this year we're actually doing 3 different age categories. Juniors are 5 to 12, youth are 13 to 17, and then 18 plus.
Right. So traditionally, have there been more children or more adults?
It's been more adults because previous years the auditions are held in the evening hours on a Wednesday, so it was hard for juniors, and a lot of the information that we got from previous contestants and people that wanted to submit their children into the singing competition, they couldn't get to the auditions,
Right.
Because it's late.
It's not
so
appealing.
yeah. So Jay's offered up the Buckle for Sunday afternoons, which is like a great time to come and get a good meal and listen to some wonderful artists singing.
And your restaurant is family friendly? And
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've got a full kids menu.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and we're usually open at 4 o'clock every day. And then we have live music all the time. But this was just a great opportunity when Heather approached me with it. I was instantly like, yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Why wouldn't you?
it's just fitting being the country singing showdown, and I've known Joe Saunders and John Patrick and them for many, many years, from me being a musician myself and playing.
Right, and they're the previous hosts of the...
For 25 years, I think they celebrated that last year.
So big shoes to fill,
Yeah,
I guess.
sadly Joe had passed away there a few years back. He was fantastic local musician. Red Rose Express and all those bands and stuff. But yeah, so Heather approached me and we talked about some changes and, new contest. We've got the new place downtown. We're the only country bar restaurant in Kingston and locally, so it just was a good
Heather
fit.
and I were talking about that, what a great fit this is for Kingston, your restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
So are there prizes if people win? Yeah,
So we actually have cash prizes for all divisions. So it's first place, second place, and third place will get cash. It's $600 to the winner, $300 to second place, and $100 to first place, which is that's great.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
But really, the glory would be winning.
Yeah,
wouldn't
of
it?
course.
Yeah.
Bragging rights.
Bragging rights. So what are your hopes for this year, being the first time that the two of you are doing this?
Kingston is like just such a hotbed of really good musicians.
Yeah.
And they, like, of all ages too. Like, I have a friend who has a 3-year-old that dances and sings, and it's like, how do we get these kids out there? So it's a great opportunity for all ages, and I hope it's successful for the Buckle as well, just to keep promoting the country and all that.
So is there a chance for them to go further with this?
Not with our contest itself, but we do have some celebrity guests, so you never know who might pop in to listen to some music. And
Right, it kind of gives them exposure, right?
Yeah.
It's along the same lines as when I host an open mic on Sundays,
You do?
normally at the Buckle.
Okay.
So, and I have a young lad that plays now on Sunday evenings that I discovered at one of my open mics.
Right.
So we've had some great talent coming through. So I'm kind of hoping the same thing. Like, you never know, somebody might do real well at one of the auditions, and I might have them come and play an actual show. And
Right.
And like Heather said, I've got some surprise friends of mine from the industry that are going to pop in and judge.
This sounds great. I was telling Heather before the show, I have an 18-year-old daughter, and she's been taking singing lessons, and last summer she got paid to sing at a couple of pubs, and it was a huge deal, and she loved it and felt great. But I feel like this sort of competition would sort of take her to another level, right? Being in front of the whole fair.
I think that's another thing too, right? It gives people a comfort level. It's one thing to sing in front of your video camera or your phone at home,
Right.
but it's another thing to get out there and sing in public and in front of the pub, of course, or the restaurant, and then the fair, which is, we have a huge entertainment tent, and it's usually filled for the event, so it's always great exposure in that and experience too.
Experience,
Yeah.
really. So if someone wanted to get involved in this, what would they do?
It's actually quite easy. You just have to go to kingstonfair.com, and then at the top corner it says Country Singing Showdown, and then you just click on that and fill out the information, and it comes to us.
Great, this sounds great. I'm definitely going to come check it out. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you for
us.
having us.